again? Is it just 2 spell slots for 1 point, is it?
If you're a straight up sorcerer, what spell slot are you looking at?
Yeah.
Just the first level. I just want 1 point.
That is 1 point. If you take the spell slot and turn it into points, it costs a lot more to make spell slots out of points, though.
That's fine. Okay.
Not a 1-to-1 conversion. The direction does matter.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just so I can have at least 1 more sorcery point.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember like if it was you needed more if it was doing sorcery, if it was the other way around, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
it's pretty clear cut. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. So higher level slots just take up different levels. I spent my hit die already. I can roll if you want, but I was literally missing one. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
You guys aren't level 5 as of yet. You guys will probably be in approximately like less than an hour. Not out of game time, in game time. So don't worry about it. Well, again, I just bring that up as a triviality and formality rather, not triviality. So, having secured the 2 traders and the 2 sort of traders, but not really, it's mental manipulation. It's a gray zone of legality. Am I right? And having confirmed the pathing, Lorelei turns to all of you. Yeah, you can always see her face. It's not like you guys are talking to Varric or something. He's a fucking nerd hiding his face all the time. No, you can see Lorelei's, royal angular features. The ribbing, the fins that she has that mark her as an aquatic elf. She looks like she's like I want to say she's it's like swallowing her pride to say this, but it's like she feels very awkward in what she's about to do, but she decides to just fucking get on with it. Like you can see her conflicting emotions like pass along her face, just like You guys are worried for a moment because again, you guys before the fight, Lorelei wasn't exactly amiable to you guys. Far from it. But she begins in her slow, educated, royally cadence. I must admit, this is not how I expected our negotiations to begin. And you all are not what I was expecting you to be. And thank the gods for that, since you helped save my life. And for that, you have my deepest gratitudes. And for before, you have my sincerest apologies. And she does like a hand across her heart and does like a really bow, like almost like a right angle, like 90 degrees sort of style. And as she's like looking away, like looking down, like at the ground, you guys could see out of the corners of your guys' eyes, Varric, and he just does like a pointed look at this, like fuck, like shit. This is important. That's what he's trying to tell you guys. This is very important. Royals don't usually bow before anyone.
And in response to what she says, Korik is going to reply, I would do it again in a heartbeat. And he's going to not mimic the bow because he doesn't know how to do that, but he's going to bow like he knows how to do and just make sure that he bows a little lower than she does.
It's just the scene from The King and I where they just try to get lower and lower.
Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll see.
Anyone else want to add to the scene? Or is Korik your guys' mouthpiece?
Nah, bros would just do like a dismissive-ish wave and just like, it's fine. It's not like we didn't literally sign up for this kind of thing.
Abigail reciprocates the bow, but she doesn't say anything.
Not one for many social cues.
Oh no! He's gonna keep
What's
flexing.
happening?
I'm just gonna, stand as confidently as possible. No. It was all in a day's work, nothing to worry about. Was easy for us. When he do it again in a heartbeat, he means it. He could do it 100 more times if necessary.
I like the idea that Ruhan like has this like grandiose imagery of nobility, but it's probably from like one of Abigail's books, which is hyper exaggerated.
He's trying to like
100%.
top that as well, so it's like
Oh,
extra exaggerated.
Yeah. Oh,
Varric,
God.
Varric just takes a knee and defers his head down.
I will try not to laugh at who
Everyone.
will be called Ruhan, and just try and copy Korik's bow.
So a low bow of reciprocation.
Yeah.
Even lower.
Oh yeah, just to one up you.
Oh, of course, of course. Lorelei unbows, and then you guys will take this as your own, like a signal to undo your own. Just she has a smirk on her face as she looks at your Minotaur friend here, who is very grandiose. Make it comedic by failing, or just give it to you guys. Let's make it comedic by potentially failing. Oh, like those of you that are interested, roll me insight.
Oh, God bless. +0.
The
Let's
dick's
go.
not high.
Fucking
It's
6.
not. You have failed, unfortunately. Alright, so anyone above 10, you can tell that she knows that this is not what he's normally like. Like, you know, again, you guys don't know how aquatic elven politics works, but she's no doubt versed in. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. She's no doubt versed in political nuance. She knows that this isn't how you normally are, and she finds your immensely grandiose and over-exaggerated display amusing. Not like a laughable sense. Not like she's not laughing at you, but it's more over like she's seen this sort of over display before, and it's sort of reminiscent in a weird way.
Comments growing.
It's like trying to prove something. Like she's seen it before, and she finds that charming.
I am curious what you were expecting.
Well, I was expecting diplomats. Actual diplomats, she says, looking at Ruhan with a smile. You know, the sort that hangs around courts, archives, libraries.
Yeah.
Certainly not. She gestures to all of you.
This.
A very combat capable and rugged bunch. But again, I thank the gods that it was all of you.
Well, you know, some good old roadside diplomacy.
I wouldn't know. You realize, like, right, they don't really have roads here, do they? So, she, like, looks away. You notice this is, like, when you guys are in the vessel, it's not like your hair is, like, flying all around the place. Like, it's sort of, like, by the, I say magnetic, quote-unquote, but the magically magnetic force that sort of keeps your guys' feet on the vessel, it's also, like, sort of keeps your rest of your equipment in, like, a more literally grounded sense. So equipment, hair, the stuff that would normally fly around is actually down kept. So Lorelei looks away, her hair just sort of blocking her visage for a moment, and she eventually like flicks it and looks at all of you. If you'd all be willing, I'd like to reintroduce myself and to know all of you.
Absolutely.
Of course.
She breathes out a sigh of relief at that. Since we have time for it, and since we've successfully dodged an ambush, I am Princess Lorelei Kelthris, first in my name. And you are?
Who does he turn to first?
You.
Because you're
Yeah,
like next to her.
Main piece, yeah.
Yeah.
Assume that she goes to you first, but then she just goes looking on the map right to left.
I am Korik
Uh-oh.
of the Drift Shield Company. I am what I do. I am a protector. That's what I've always done.
She nods graciously at such. Right to left.
Oh,
That's right.
I forgot my right to lefts.
It's okay.
I'm Fia. Just Fia. Lover of stories and very interested in this place. I hope you'll. I hope I'll enjoy my stay and you'll enjoy us, I think.
You can see out of the corner of your eye,
Shake
Bear
your hand up.
shriveling
Okay,
as
okay.
you keep going. I'm not at your comp right now. It's gonna be Rose then you.
Yeah.
I hope to have your stay being enjoyable as well. Well, more enjoyable than all of this. And if you have any questions, I'm sure either I or my mother or father would be happy to regale you with our tales. She looks at you, Rose. Crack a cold one.
Yeah. She's gonna go up and hold out her hand for like a handshake.
You can't see behind you directly. The rest of you can see out of the corners of Korik as well, but the rest of you can see out of the corners of your eyes, Barry just slowly doing a face wall.
I could feel it
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, you could feel the anxiety and like disappointment.
Like a radiating aura of disapproval.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Lorelai tilts her head at this, but does take your hand and shake it firmly.
I go by Rose, and it is an absolute, genuine pleasure to actually meet you.
Rose,
Mhm.
she nods. A pleasure. And you, our grand friend. She looks at you, Rowan.
Of course, I'm the hero you need, and your time of also need.
Rose is just like
Abigail's
silently
just, like,
clapping.
covering her mouth, smirking and looking away from this display. She's like,
Rose is just like silently clapping off to the side, just like, good job, buddy.
Oh.
you can't really clap underwater because the sound doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Exactly why it's silent clapping. It's just the motion.
You can clap.
Really?
You just want to make noise.
Yeah, whenever we used to play underwater football, that's like the only way you could get someone's attention.
Huh. Oh, because
See,
the wave of the
I-
shockwave would still carry, wouldn't it?
I don't know exactly why, I just know it worked.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll take your anecdote as true because I certainly don't do shit in the water. Fuck that. That means
What
going
the fuck
outside.
is water?
Also, yeah.
I have to ask, and take no offense to this because I find it charming. Are you going to be so different from your true self your entire time here?
Starts to sweat.
Sweat underwater?
See a sweat bead despite being underwater. You guys like, what the fuck? Crazy.
It's just that strong of stress.
Whatever do you mean? Venus?
No, I say Lorelai probably reacts as similar as I do. You guys can hear her musical laughter like ring throughout the water. She's speaking to you guys telepathically, but this laughter actually is physical, and you guys can sort of hear it ripple out from her.
I'll move over to Ruhan. I'll put a hand on his shoulder, and I'll just say to him, if you ask me, there's nothing more majestic than what you've already shown us. You have strength of heart, a sincere curiosity, and you've saved all of our lives more times than anyone else here since we first met. I think she'll see that.
You very much remind me of someone fresh to court and has been given dramatically bad advice.
Thinking about
No
it,
offense.
Raitzi, because he's not Ruhan yet. Raitzi, how many times have you actually interacted with nobles in a more noble-like setting?
All the time.
You can tell the truth.
Don't worry, man. No judgment.
Well, I just read about it in this book one time.
That explains a lot.
Abigail
Yeah. No.
And Barrick just like elbows her. He's like, "What the fuck?" Like, God damn it. Well, might I suggest that following all of that book's advice might not be advisable.
Oh. Well.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
And you. For what it's worth.
Your words are worth enough. Have no fear. But she like thinks for a moment. Like looks you up and down. Your name. Raitsi. Yes? That is Nevros. Are you of Nevros kind? I've always heard stories of your kind, then. Of the Nevros from my father.
I suppose that's based off who is saying it. The Nevros say I'm not. The provincials say I am.
Well, in my own opinion, it is your self-belief that is most important.
Not sagely in agreement. Yes, quite.
You know, I get that a lot as well.
What?
I will
Being
take that
Nevros?
into consideration.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's a long story. It's because of these. I just gesture at my tattoos.
I can certainly see. Lorelei looks at Abigail. Abigail just repeats that sort of courtly bow. My name is Abigail. Abigail Cereza. Let's see. Who might notice this?
Background knowledge.
Everyone with background knowledge.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume I would not.
You
Oh, shit.
might.
12. Wow, we all rolled crap. All right.
You guys
Yep.
are really doing well. If he gets an 11, you guys would have had like a straight.
Yep.
Then we all win. I imagine it's the courtly bow thing.
Just add some embarrassment, we'll make it a flush.
I mean, there's a 1 involved.
I mean,
Could you have mercy on us?
It tracks. It tracks.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what, Thea? You're not the only one in the ones club anymore.
Hey, I have a friend.
Yay!
We must quarantine them away from the rest of us.
Not the best
since
of
it's spread.
roles. We move on. Abigail,
That was
Cereza.
short-lived.
A pleasure. And she looks at Varric. Varric just does not this like a curtsy like Abio does, but he does do like a similar manner as to what Lorelei did initially, which is hand over heart, a bow, just not like a deep bow. It's like an introductory bow. Varric. Gnosis. Varric Gnosis. Well, all of you, I'm happy to know you. And she looks this when she says this, particularly look at you, Ruhan, soon to be Ruhan. I appreciate that you guys are of a more genuine and she like thinks of the best way to say this. Ruggish nature. Trust me, I've been surrounded by courtly types my entire life. I could do with a bit of change of pace.
Well, glad to accommodate that.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn the
Yeah.
kelp rope thing, anyways?
My mother. My mother is well versed in the ways of the waters, as well as the land, as well as mysticism.
Ooh.
My father taught me, and she like hefts the spear, like just holds it up a bit. Taught me the ways of combat and courtly intrigue. You'll meet them both in due time. I do plan on bringing us to them immediately once we get to the palace.
Makes sense.
They would certainly want to hear about this. And she looks at the guards.
Speaking of which, you were not wrong in your assessment earlier. We are exactly what you said, ignorant, at least of this place.
She has like a pained look on her face. She's like, it's like someone remembering like a bad memory from like 7 years ago. It's like that. Except this wasn't 7 years ago. It's probably like 17 minutes ago. And she's like, ugh.
Well, the truth is the truth.
It might be, but
Don't
I took no offense then.
I shouldn't have put it so harshly. And
I took no offense then. I take none now.
No, just because we're ignorant now doesn't mean we will be. Doesn't mean we will be later.
Which is actually why I brought this up. If we are indeed to meet your parents, I know for a fact that I don't know proper decorum, and I doubt maybe those two appointed Beric and Abigail might have a clue, but yeah.
Abigail just gestures at Beric. Him, certainly more so than I. As long as it carries over between cultures. Well, allow me to put my apology into action. If you guys have any questions, either about court protocol or about the waters in which we're in right now, I can certainly answer to the best of my ability. Out of game. What would you guys like to ask Lorelei, if anything?
Yeah, so basically how she prefers to be addressed by us, and also if there is a difference in how she wants to be addressed in private versus in public.
Very important distinction.
Yes. Additionally, what would be a proper greeting sort of procedure when we are introduced to her royal mother and father?
Okay. I'm gonna do Fred's questions first. If you guys are free to think of them while I think of more while I'm going through them. In private, you can just call me Lorelei. It's fine. In public settings, she is the princess. She has no siblings. There's no prince, no other princesses. She's just her. And by titleage, she is. I say your. You guys aren't citizens of this city-state kingdom, so your is a relative term. But she is, your highness. Her parents are your majesties, for both of them, or the king, queen. You know, if you had to refer to them by a specific title or whatever. But when you're talking to them, just your majesty. In terms of introducing yourself to the two of them, she says that it's by courtly protocol, and Vera confirms that this is pretty much the case for across cultures, apparently. You basically have someone else do the introductions for you. So, in most normal circumstances, it's some sort of herald or captain of the honor guard or something like that. For today, for this upcoming instance, she'll be the one introducing you guys to her parents.
Okay.
And she'll be simply referring you guys by your names and such. And then referring to them by, obviously not mother and father, but their majesties.
Is there like an appropriate bow that's expected or preferred in that sense during said introductions? It
depends on how you want to put yourselves. If you want to fully defer to them, you take a knee. If you want to be a bit more courtly, a bit, I want to say casual, but a bit more less courtly ritual to it, then you would do what she did to you guys just now, a hand over heart, leg back, bow. The gentleman will bow, and he will hold his hand so. That's part of Witcher 3, and it's in the first fucking hour of the game.
I enjoyed that scene. It was good.
It helps capture Nilfgaard's immense like trappings and intricacies. But the thing is, it's been hyper dumbed down for you as a player, as well as for just you as Geralt. Yeah.
What option do we take if we want to show respect but make ourselves somewhat on equal footing?
Yeah.
She thinks about this. You can tell this is not a normal thing. That's by how long it takes for her to think about it, you can tell it's not a normal thing done. I suppose it would just be simply the same as before, just far less of a bow. So I suppose something along the lines of she gestures to Varric. Varric just shrugs. You can tell Varric has had a lot of times in his life where he has to give respect but not deference. So yeah, hand over heart. You don't have to do as much like any curtsying, and you just do like a nod, more of a nod than a bow. But it's still sort of bowing.
Mm-hmm.
It's respect that they are your host and that you are in their land, but you're not subjugating yourselves to their rule and command and such. Rules, yes. Rule is not reign, rather. Yeah.
Is there anything that we considered like rude or something to say, like if you did a certain action or said something in a certain way that would be considered like?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah. Like against etiquette, I suppose.
Well, I'm afraid not many things come to mind because it seems like this may be bias, but common sense. Don't leave unless you're allowed to leave and things like that. Don't pollute the water. I'm afraid I honestly don't know what to tell you.
Don't be stupid.
Don't brandish your weapons unless asked so.
Don't mention the war.
Okay.
I'm afraid I have little knowledge on court transgressions.
No, thank you.
You guys should be allowed free roaming of the castle. My apologies. Both the palace and the courtyard, as far as I've been made aware. So, I suppose as long as you don't abscond with weapons from the armory, you should be fine. Oh, and to give you fair warning, to assuage your fears, I assure you our living environment is not. And she like gestures, like she moves her hands, like sweeps water with it, just like so.
Oh, thank goodness. Sleeping with rebreathers on is very difficult.
Oh yeah.
Really hope we don't have to go far distance for this mission. You guys are like, how the fuck do we camp in the water? How do we cook? How do we eat?
You starve.
Oh my
Shut
god,
up.
yeah.
It's either eat or breathe. Take your pick.
I know.
It's all
Like-
sushi.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anything else you guys would like to ask Lorelei?
Yeah, what does she think's behind this?
She like bites her like lower lip, like.
Not knowing is a valid answer.
I have ideas, but the closest thing I have to a source, as far as I know, isn't capable of this. And she gestures to the traitors to her left and the formerly mentally controlled, hopefully, on her right.
Yeah,
My-
she like,
My people have been engaged recently with a besiegement of sorts by beings of crustaceans, crabs, crab-ken, as my mother refers to them.
You're being attacked by crab people?
Yes, and I assure you that the carapaces are quite hard, and there are many of them. My mother and father will tell you more on the situation. They're more informed on the strategic matters of it. I only know it through word of mouth and from hearing things.
Is that why we were called down here in the first place?
She nods.
Does she know of any purple octopi mace?
That,
Yeah.
Is this a
that's,
reference to something?
Bro, really?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank here.
Yeah, I mean,
damn. It's rare that we get the
Oh
whole
my
group wondering what the
goodness.
fuck the reference is.
I'm uncultured. What can I say?
I told you I'm uncultured.
Oh, wow.
Oh, of
Wow, that
course.
went over all of our
I've actually
heads.
never seen that one.
Oh, Ursula. Oh, okay.
That gif is amazing.
How did I miss this?
Yeah.
I think it's the
Oh,
word maid.
Ursula, a maid?
Yeah, like
Okay,
we
I
all had
think
a
we
certain
all
image when
understood
maid
it.
popped up.
Yeah,
She's
heretic.
like very the definition of sea hag. But guys, I'm not mad that y'all didn't get it. I'm just disappointed.
You're a father,
I
makes
know what
sense.
I didn't see the
saying.
fucking movie when I was a kid, and I never will.
See, I'm ashamed. That was my
Unfortunate
favorite
film.
film when I was a kid. So